First, I hope you understand my accent. Well, my life has been blessed in many ways. At the same time, I am somebody who also had many adventures in my life. I grew up in Tibet. You know, it wasn't very easy to grow up in Tibet with all the political turmoils. And there are many, many things I can appreciate in my life. I'm, of course, very much blessed. I also had a chance to go through some health issues. I would like to share about that with all of you. I don't get chance to do that so much. I'm going to share that with all of you, and so my answer won't be too intellectual. It won't be coming from head, but coming from my own. And life is a journey. I won't get into the details of my health issue. I'm still dealing with it, and I'm hoping that soon I'm going to be recovered. James and I talked about my health issue. He knows pretty much the details. It started with some kind of injury, and I had a severe pain. I had to go to a hospital, emergency, and I was in the hospital for 3 days with the severe pain. And one thing I remember is the doctors always ask me to describe level of my pain. They say between 1 and 10. And in the first place, I described pretty high. And then they gave me lots of painkiller medicine. So in the beginning, when I had that very severe pain, I meditated with that. And then pain became so strong that I couldn't really hold my body still. I couldn't meditate as a formal discipline, and finally the pain became so strong, I decided to surrender to the pain. I told myself, I can't rise above the pain, I'm going to surrender to this pain. So I totally let myself fall apart. And I let myself do anything what I need to do, crying, and begging for the medicine, but it becomes some kind of spiritual because I decided to surrender to the pain, not to fight against the pain. So the pain didn't go away, but at the same time, in a very strange way, there was a peace. I was in a pain, I'm begging for the painkiller medicine, but at the same time, there was a peace because I decided to surrender to the pain, and also I felt I become the pain. And then there's this amazing peace while the pain was happening. And that was very much a epiphany for me. And then after that, I have been having ongoing pain. But one thing I learned from that moment is that I'm not afraid of pain anymore. I used to be afraid of pain, but now I feel I'm not afraid of pain anymore. It's part of life. I feel I know what to do when pain comes. I just have to surrender to it and be with it. And this is some kind of epiphany I want to share with all of you.
Thank you. So it's not that everything is just fine, that there can still be the pain, but there's not the fear that you're adding on top of it, trying to push it away, that you can just allow what's here to be here.
That's right. There is also a sense of some kind of, let me try to find a word, some kind of almost, you might like a reconciliation with the pain. Pain
reconciliation.
is there. Of course, I want to feel the ease Of course, there's part of me that I want to be more comfortable, but same time, I was able to be with that pain. It's not like I'm cursing the pain and trying to get rid of it and thinking that pain is some kind of this intrusion in my body. And so there's some kind of peace. And I felt that if I don't even get painkiller medicine, I may be able to just be with that.
Right, some reconciliation with the pain. And thank you. Something else I want to ask you your take on. It seems to me that if we can remember to pause, once we remember to pause, and you've practiced that, and you know what it's like to pause, then that's much more available to you. But the hard part is remembering to pause.
That's right.
So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts or tips on how to remember to pause while you're in the middle of the confusion.
I think we need some kind of training. That's very important. Many of people, many of you perhaps have a regular meditation practice. In Buddhist tradition, you make a commitment to practice every day, like twice or 3 times every day. So you're trained to practice the meditation or the art of pausing. And also, I think human beings are quite extraordinary. Human beings are naturally spiritual. When we arrive at a moment where we feel that we are going to fall apart, physically or mentally, either with the suffering or with the pain, physical pain, I think something wakes up inside each of us, something infinite. It could be infinite courage, infinite love. I think the Buddha nature wakes up sometime when we totally feel that we are fallen apart. We have no more the strength to hold ourselves together. When we fall apart, sometimes the best part of us come out.
So it sounds like at that point when you're falling apart, you give up. You are giving up, and something else
Right.
can shine.
When I had that pain, I wanted to control the pain. I want to use meditation to subdue the pain. That was my agenda. And I want to arise above the pain so I can feel that I'm a great meditator. Or some kind of spiritual being. My ego wants to be holy man who can just transcend biology. And you can do that with maybe 1 or 2 or 3 degree of pain, but when you reach higher than 5, you can't do that. Biology, you cannot deny it. So there's a point as a meditator who has this kind of obsession to be transcender or holy man. It's very humiliating. You look around making sure that nobody's watching you because you are falling apart. Especially I play a role as a Buddhist teacher. I travel everywhere to teach, and then here I'm kind of falling apart. I have a running nose. I was aching and a little bit demanding. I'm glad that none of you are in the emergency room. I'm not like this. Right now I'm quite happy. But then I decided to surrender. I said, I can't transcend this pain. I can't really subdue pain. I'm hopeless, I told. I'm hopeless. Actually, I tried 2 methods, prayer and the meditation. So I did prayer, meditation didn't work. And I prayed. I prayed to Tara. Tara is a a Buddhist goddess. But of course, in Buddhism, the goddess is not outside; she's inside. She's just expression of yourself. Somehow, naturally, I prayed to Tara to take that pain away, but she didn't show up. And now I'm in a deep trouble. I'm totally hopeless. So I had to surrender. I said, I'm going to surrender. I'm going to give up. I'm fallen apart. And then something else appeared. There's this amazing peace that I never felt happened. And I'm kind of okay with the fallen apart. I'm okay with the pain. I'm okay with the crying. I'm okay with the demanding doctors, nurses, stronger painkiller medicine. I'm okay with everything.
One thing that you just brought up when you're saying, it was humiliation, and for me, it's so interesting that humiliation can be very discouraging, or just a little shift, and humiliation can become humility.
Absolutely.
And that humility, there's a kind of surrender into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I've been practicing Buddhism, but the pain I had was a big moment in my life. I felt until that my Buddhism was in the head, and I really never understood pain. Many people come to my teachings and they talked about pain, and I gave them answers how to deal with the pain. I don't think I really understood what pain is, and now I understand what pain is. I feel much more sympathy and connection with the people when they talk about their illness, their pain, and their sorrow. I feel much more connected with the people. So in that sense, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
So when you're going through your own pain, that it becomes a gift that you can understand and feel compassion for.
Oh,
for
very
others.
much. And also there's a big shift happened in my mind. Because I knew somehow Buddhism is not about transcending life, transcending your humanness, but somehow there's this big concept, almost in every Buddhist in Asia, that Buddhism is all about just going beyond life, going beyond pain, going beyond suffering, going beyond everything, to the extent that you become this transcender, that you transcend the suffering, you don't suffer anymore, you don't have pain anymore. Even you have pain, you can just transcend it. So my understanding of Buddhism was some kind of path that transcends life, transcends humanness. It's all about not to be human, but to be superhuman. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And through my pain, I realized that Buddhism is not about being superhuman. It's about being human. It's about to be a genuine, authentic human being. And through that, maybe through only that, we can learn how to have a authentic compassion and love. And maybe we can understand each other.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm sharing this. I thought this would be more meaningful because it's coming from my own life's adventure. So then this is no more theoretical.
That's the true being. You're a manifesting being right here, just being real. So thank you so much.